Most men do not know how detrimental, how harmful a dad bod is to their life. They don't understand the gravity of how much a dad bod and being out of shape is literally destroying and chipping away at their success in life. They usually brush it off. They usually think, oh, it's nothing. That's stupid. But look at these bills and these gas prices, or not gas prices, but these rent, cost of living prices, things of that nature. But they don't take in consideration that a dad bod and being out of shape is also a mental thing as well as a physical thing. Okay. And if you look at the statistics of obesity in the US, and to be quite frank, it's not only the US that's suffering from it. A lot of European countries, especially the UK, the UK has a very bad obesity problem as well. I know I have my European mates, my Euro lads watching this. You guys could probably attest the obesity rates are getting pretty bad in some of the European countries and some of the Middle Eastern countries, just to name a few. And obviously, that's not all men. And as a quick aside, ladies are getting screwed over on the obesity front as well. If I have ladies watching this, ladies, you don't know how bad you are screwing yourself over by being obese. You are doing yourself one of the worst disservices that you could ever do. Okay, I'm telling you this right now. A lot of these young ladies are 70, 80, 90 pounds overweight. They weigh more than I do. And I'm not trying to be funny. I'm not trying to be hyperbolic. I'm not trying to poke fun. I'm just stating the cold, hard facts. A lot of these young ladies weigh like, they make me look like a damn twig. Okay. And that's terrible. That's not how it's supposed to be at all. They weigh more than a lot of men do in some cases, which is horrendous. Okay. So this is not only about my fellas, but it mainly is because this is a man's channel and we need to fix ourselves first. But before I get into it, this is Tarik Talks. And speaking of fitness and leaning down and getting into shape, if you would like my help, if you are having some relationship issues as well, which a lot of them, by the way, stem from having a dad bod and being out of shape. If you feel like I can help you out and I'm a good fit, click the link in the description, running a special this month. So the dad bod is more than just a physical appearance or a physical attribute that you have. It is more than just a shallow surface level aspect. See, the problem is with a lot of guys, and every time I start thinking about this, I start getting a little heated because a lot of guys try to bring in this moral, like they try to sneak in some sort of moral high ground, or they try to sneak in some sort of religious dogma in there. Nothing against my religious folks out there. Much love to you guys. God bless all of y'all. But they kind of bring in this whole moral thing of, it's about being pious and righteous, and you're just being shallow. And they try to downplay a fit physique. Deep down inside, this is a defense mechanism. They're bringing in some sort of religious dogma to try to thwart what I'm saying. But the crazy thing about it is my boy Luther Versulian said this in one of his videos. I got to give props because what he said stuck with me to this day. He said, and I never thought about this. He said gluttony is a sin, in his video. And obviously I knew this before his video, but when he said it, I'm like, wow, I knew this all along. I'm like, every time these folks try to bring in some sort of religious or moral high ground, like, oh, as long as I'm a good guy and as long as I'm moral and stuff like that, I never thought of, I always thought to myself, like, but you're big, so you're obviously gluttonous, right? So, they try to downplay it and they see their life going to complete shit. And that's something that they never admit, like, hey, maybe it's my habits, maybe it's this dad bod, maybe it's me being out of shape. That is not the only, but is a huge, towering, huge problem. No pun intended. It's a very big problem It's a very rotund problem, no pun intended. They never think about that. And it's the elephant in the room, also no pun intended. Damn, I'm on fire today. But it's the God honest truth. And if you guys watch the show Hoarders, this is a perfect example. I'm going to tell you how obesity and dad bods correlate with this. So Hoarders, the first thing you think of is the physical aspect. You think of the dead cat under the sofa that is being buried under 50 pounds of trash that this hoarder is, hoarding, that this hoarder is keeping all of this trash, newspapers from 1996, got like 5 dead cats under a stove. They're all smushed like pancakes because they've been there for years and years. Got hoarders saving gallons of piss for no reason at all other than they're hoarders. They got toys. They don't have any kids in the damn house. They just have heaps and piles of garbage everywhere. It smells like death in there, and it smells horrible. And everyone thinks of the physical attribute first. They think of the physical aspect of a hoarder first. They don't think of the most important aspect, which is the mental. The mental is actually precedes the physical. For someone to keep a gallon of rotten milk, for someone to have a collection of 6 dead animals smushed to pancakes with rat doo-doo everywhere and dog doo-doo everywhere and thousands of pages of newspaper clippings from 1998, food from 10 years ago still in the fridge. For someone to do that, they have a mental thing going on. It's not just a physical thing. Their mind is cluttered. So their house is a direct reflection of their mental illness. These guys are not normal. They are not sane. They have mental issues. And I'm not one of these guys that are like, oh yeah, it's a disability or whatever. Because at the end of the day, everybody has a choice. But it just shows what's going on the inside. Now, here's what happens with the dad bod, with the obesity rate. That is a direct reflection on the inside. If someone's outside, if their body is out of whack, if their body is just obese, is just 50, 60, 70, 100, 150 pounds, and we're getting close to triple digit excess fat now. Because the obesity rate is just getting bigger and bigger. With every year, the number of excess fat is nearing triple digits, meaning it's going up in 100 pounds and more overweight, right? That is a direct reflection of this guy's internal monologue, of his internal feelings about himself. And a lot of guys have the shittiest time romantically, have the shittiest time with life in general, because a huge part of that dad bod, a huge part of their physique. And until they realize this, until they admit to themselves that, hey, look, I need to fix this, they're going to keep running into the same problem. They're going to be in failed relationship. And when this relationship goes to shit, now guess what? They're left optionless. They are left optionless, even though most chicks out here are obese too. But the ones that are in shape, they are, it's getting, a lot of these videos, man, I be seeing a lot of these videos of it's getting harder out here for men, and dating is cooked in 2025 and 2026 and all of that. And yes, I wholeheartedly agree. It's getting worse. It is getting worse. But guess what? Having a dad bod or not being in shape is going to throw absolute flames on. It's going to throw oil. It's going to throw gasoline on the flames of the shitstorm that is some of these guys' lives. Being in shape gives you so many advantages. Being lean gives you so many. It gives you a fighting chance. A lot of guys, man, they get in relationships. Like I said, their habits, their dad bod habits, not just their dad bod physicality, but their dad bod habits leads them down a path of just complete disappointment in a relationship. Now, the broad that they were with doesn't want to be with them anymore because she sees the leadership skills are just not there, even though the paradox, the irony is she's probably out of shape too. But, you know, that's besides the point, because like I said, being obese is hurting a lot of chicks too, because you bet your bottom dollar if a guy is in shape, he's lean, he got his shit together, he has sex appeal, he's going to be killing it out here more than the average guy, right? But when she leaves, now he's assed out. All he has to show is a beer belly. All he has to show is probably a gambling problem from betting on sports. And all he has to show is, you know, a lack of discipline, because your body is a physical representation of your mind. He just has a lack of a lack of discipline to show. And, you know, everything, as much as a lot of these dating coaches or manosphere people talk down on dating apps and the internet, let's just be for real. Let's not even act like we're blind here. A lot of what goes on is over the internet. The internet is becoming more integral in our day-to-day life, probably, and it's probably going to be integrated into, if not already. If some people use technology 24/7, literally, like me. I got my phone, I'm making videos. When I'm at work, I'm using a machine, right? So it would be foolish of you to think, hey, yeah, let me just keep meeting women the old school way, which I'm not saying doesn't work. It absolutely does. But let's be honest, man. A lot of people are on the internet. Men and women are on these dating apps, are online, Instagram, TikTok. And these guys that have these dad bods, these guys that are 50 pounds overweight, 60 pounds overweight, if they post a picture on Instagram or a dating app, it's straight crickets. You know, you see a lot of these videos online about these very black pillish kind of videos, and they talk about how brutal online dating is. Dude, a lot of these guys making the videos don't even have a pic, their channel is faceless. I bet you, I put bottom dollar on it. If they show their face, if they show their physique would be below par. Even they would either be skinny as a twig or they would be very obese. And a lot of guys just don't want to admit how detrimental being out of shape is. They're going to keep saying, no, they want a Chad that's 6'5", or they want a guy that is a billionaire and a millionaire. Guess what, man? A lot of these millionaires hire dating coaches. And guess how they look? Obese. You guys think that these millionaires don't be hiring dating coaches? You guys don't think that these millionaires and billionaires, whatever the hell, don't have trouble with women? And I'm not saying if you get in shape, it's going to completely take away all of your problems, but it's going to give you a fighting chance. Like I said, being in shape is like a helping hand up, because we're all going to fall. We're all going to get screwed over someday, whether it's by a friend or a female or even family members, unfortunately, right? But being in shape, being leaner, being fit, whatever you want to call it, it's like that helping hand that's going to pull you back up. Like, I got you. I got you. This sucks. It's hard, but we're going to pull through it, because guess what? We have our nice physique and we have our discipline. Because on the flip side, just like dad bod is a mentality, being in shape is also a mentality as well. It's a state of mind. Being in shape isn't only a physical thing. It's also a state of mind. You got to think about your meals. You have to think about your workouts. You have to think about being healthy. You don't just be healthy. You have to think about it. Then you could be healthy. Same thing with having a dad bod. You got to think about stuffing your face with a whole tub, with a whole gallon of Popeyes. You have to think about doing that. Then you execute that gallon of fried chicken with the dry ass biscuits, and bam, you get a dad bod. So anyway, I hope this video helped. Peace.